I know this economy is hurting a lot of people. Inflation is at 40-year high, interest rates are rising, and average gas prices have hit a frightening $5 a gallon. And now you're hearing that we may be heading for a recession. Okay, so when it comes to spending your money, be very cautious, especially when we are talking about tens of thousands of dollars. Most people save a lot to achieve their dream of owning a home. Some are first-time home buyers, and some are buying their second, third, or their last home. Regardless of your standing in life, I just want to share with you the one thing you need to know before buying a house in North Carolina. Hello there. This is Len Alvarez, your realtor broker in Charlotte, North Carolina. If you have any questions regarding moving to Greater Charlotte or purchasing a home, please give me a call first at 704-975-2429 or email me at len@lenalvarez.com. And yes, please smash that subscribe button below. Here in North Carolina, the housing market is still a hot seller's market. For example, one of our recent listings had 39 showings and 10 offers in its first 2 days on the market. In this situation, the one thing that is especially worth commenting on is the due diligence fee in North Carolina. When you make an offer on a house, we use a form called Offer to Purchase and Contract. This is the standard form for resale homes only. Builders of new homes use their own contract. Actually, this video does not pertain to new construction. When making an offer and the offer is accepted, two fees are typically due. One is the due diligence fee that is payable directly to the seller, and the other fee is called the earnest money deposit payable to the closing attorney. These two fees are not mandatory, but customary. But in this market, having a high due diligence fee is critical for the offer to be accepted. Some agents say it is skin in the game. I will explain. So what is a due diligence fee? It is a fee paid directly to the seller as consideration toward taking their home off the market so the buyer can do the investigation on the property, location, and financing. This investigation is called the due diligence process. The buyer needs to review everything about the property by getting home inspections, appraisal, title search, survey, and their financing. The due diligence fee gives the buyer the option to walk away if they find something they're not happy with or even for no reason at all. The minute you have a contract, the due diligence fee is owed. That money is gone. If the transaction goes through, that amount will be credited to the buyer at closing. If you back out, the buyer loses the due diligence fee. The other fee is the earnest money deposit that is payable to the closing attorney and will be held in a trust account until closing. This money is safe, provided the buyer backs out of the contract before the end of the due diligence period. However, if the buyer backs out after the due diligence period, the seller can keep the earnest money deposit as well. Just as with the due diligence fee, if the deal goes through, the earnest money amount will be credited to the buyer at closing. That is why buyers should remember when the due diligence period ends. We always remind our buyers that if they change their mind, let us know at least by that date so we can still get the earnest money back. When the due diligence period and due diligence fee were introduced in North Carolina in 2011, we were just talking about a few $100 check written to the seller. I started in 2002, so for me it was kind of weird to see those checks for $200, $500, or $750. Then over the years, the typical fee increased to over $1,000, and just before the pandemic, it was about the amount of the homeowner's monthly mortgage payment. But the pandemic really changed the shape of everything from the economy to real estate. Not surprisingly, with a low housing supply and high demand leading to the seller's market, aside from accelerated bidding over asking price, the due diligence fee became a key tool for enticing sellers to accept offers. So now in this crazy seller's market, a buyer has to have the courage not only to bid sometimes way over asking price, but also to offer an insane amount of due diligence fee and even waive conditions such as inspections, repairs, and an appraisal gap. I heard from a loan officer that a buyer offered way over asking price and the amount of the due diligence fee was the listing price. How crazy is that? Another example was a home listed at $350,000 that sold at $400,000 with a $50,000 due diligence fee. If there were issues with the house, the buyer absolutely could have backed up, but would have lost all that money. Another thing I'd like to mention is that in North Carolina, property is being sold in its current condition. By contract, it is sold as is. Now, if requested, some sellers do some repairs, but some will not. Buyers should be aware of the condition of the house before making an offer. It's not only on the contract that sellers are not obligated to do repairs. Sellers know that when buyers walk away, they get to keep a big chunk of the buyer's hard-earned money. Early this year, we had a transaction that left our buyer's pocket lighter by $25,000. Yes, it is true. It broke my heart to learn that they were backing out of the contract because of home inspection issues that could have been easily remedied. The buyers from out of state, so we were showing them homes virtually, in short, FaceTiming them. After several showings, the couple contacted us to make an offer on a house they saw online because they were amazed by the video presented by the listing agent. The home looked incredibly nice and checked all their boxes. The house was in coming soon status, which in North Carolina means you can make an offer on a house, but you cannot have a showing. Believe me, I don't understand the logic behind it. Our buyers were very insistent to make an offer on that day and could not wait for it to be active on the MLS. My husband and I work as a team. We told our clients to wait for the following day so at least we could see it in person while we FaceTime them from the property. They said no because they were afraid that there would be multiple offers when it becomes active. To make a long story short, we got the house at $30,000 over the listing price with a $20,000 due diligence fee and $5,000 earnest money deposit. Before the end of the due diligence period, we reminded them of the important date. They decided to move forward. The day before closing without us, they went to the house. They called us and told us that they were very disappointed with the condition of the house. My husband and I were in disbelief that they did not let us know they were visiting the house so we could at least open it for them so they can see the interior and not judge it by the exterior. By the way, the walkthrough was the following day, just a couple of hours before closing, a closing that never happened. We offered our advice on what to do, but they got mad at us and planned to sue the listing agent. We were the buyer's agents, by the way. The wife cussed us and called us names on the phone and never wanted to hear from us again. I don't know where they are now. Legally, they owe us a commission, but we decided not to pursue it because they already lost $25,000. I just wished they'd listened to us. Consider this as a cautionary tale if you are looking to buy a house in North Carolina, specifically in Charlotte and the surrounding areas, because this is our market. Find a real estate agent who is knowledgeable on the area and has experience navigating the bidding process. Make sure you really like the house after a thorough check during the showing. If you are from out of town, FaceTiming with your agent, have a list of questions during the tour of the property and read the property disclosure statements. I know it is very taxing on the part of the agent because we've done that and still do it for our out-of-town buyers. But this is a part of our job, so we are happy to do it for our clients. Lastly, you need to read the offer to purchase and contract form before making a move. If you want to get a sample copy of North Carolina offer to purchase and contract, please see below where I put the link to download that form. If you have any questions, please contact me at 704-975-2429. Please comment below if you have any horrifying experience when buying a home, either in North Carolina or in other states. This is a crazy time, so be very careful. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you soon. Take care.